fellow believers. But again, if you want to see that match, that is on our B stream. It is live right now, youtube.com/@PokemonUnite.
All right, let's bring it back. We have AKJIL versus MJK from Japan. Now, as we head into this band phase, we're going to see what these picks are going to be. And you know what? I think this looks really interesting. Lapras, Umbreon, two defenders. We've talked about this defender meta. It makes sense, right?
Absolutely. Now, the question is, what does AKJIL want to do with this, power pick right here, the first pick, and they grab Inteleon. This Pokemon has been picked up all weekend. As we say, MJK right here, they're taking two massive all-rounders, Zacian or Shifu, back-to-back.
They are taking those back-to-back. Interestingly enough, I feel like usually teams have been picking those defenders and those supporters first up, along with the Inteleon, but not having those on the side. I think these are two power picks that you want to have on your team. Take
a look at AKJIL right here. They say we are still going to be able to run double defender, and we are relegating you to picking Trevenant. If you want to run another one, I guess it would be Snorlax right here. But they're saying, nah, I don't think we need that. We're going to bring out the Comfey right there. Comfey, oh, they move it over to a Blissey. We almost had Comfey Zacian, which is just a horror story from solo queue earlier in the year.
No, please do not give me nightmares. Otherwise, we do see that AKJIL is hovering over the Clefable. And you did mention it earlier, it can be hit or miss. But I guess being up there in front of a Slowbro and a Blastoise by their side, hopefully is able to utilize that AoE healing to the best.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what they are able to do right here. It's interesting seeing, I think both Delphox and Clefable are these hit or miss Pokemon. They can really do some amazing stuff, and then other times teams are able to shut them down pretty hard. Looking at this composition here from MJK, I feel like it's a little more fierce. It's a little scarier than what I'm seeing from AKJIL, but AKJIL also has some huge power Pokemon, and if they're able to make sure that that Inteleon can land those clean snipe shots or liquidations all match, then MJK is in trouble.
Yes, but we can see they are going to be a wrecking ball, possibly sticking together. But you know what? I think we need to throw it off to our casters for this match. Zoinks, Wonder Chef, take it away.
Thank you so much, you two. Wow, Wonder Chef, we got an exciting one to kick off our first game of this best-of-3 set. Oh, my word. I mean, Delphox into the Venusaur, looking pretty okay from where I'm standing.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised we didn't see the Comfey there. That's like the optimal Comfey team. It's got like 3 of the best targets possible. But I'm so excited to watch these teams. Look at this, of all ages, the fans are coming out to cheer for these teams. The Japanese crowd in particular has been amazing. They've been loud just throughout the entire venue. Again, there's the B stage, there's the A stage, and they have been cheering on both sides for every single Japanese team. Just watch the Oisu macro from the crowd, and I actually can't hear you. I'm going to need to speak up because now I'm deaf.
Yeah, exactly. The crowd loving this. MJK and AKJIL, I mean, we were talking about, the analysts were talking about a little bit before we started this match, both 3-0 in their group stage. Well, that's impressive. I mean, the laundry list of teams that includes and defeated is amazing. MJK took out teams like Team Peps, Team MYS, TTV, AKJIL defeating teams like Amaterasu and Fuge and Brazil. So many solid teams defeated in these scenarios. I mean, these two teams have earned it, maybe more than any other squad in our top 8 bracket.
Right, not only so dominant, but probably not expected to be that dominant by any means from most people. Of course, everybody was wrong. If you say that you had an accurate prediction bracket, you are lying, or you were like a contrarian and you just did everything opposite. But that is just so impressive for both these teams. I've been very impressed by them, so we'll see how this match goes. Right now, this Squirtle just trying to stay up. This is going to be tough. I mean, having to deal with this Zacian early on in that path is not going to be the easiest thing. A little bit of a fight. Who can take this blue buff?
Oh, that's a tough one, but wow, a boosted auto attack is going to be grabbing it for the Kumfu, and Lucapo falls into this Urshifu. This is my player to watch, by the way, for this matchup. Yesterday in group stage, Lucapo was smurfing out there. Unbelievable Urshifu player, so strong. I cannot wait to see what they can accomplish here in our top 8 bracket today.
Already looking pretty good, I'll say. Did you get that stack in? All right, the Sobble is reaping a little bit right there. It's like, keep trying. Oh, trying for the dive, but yeah, that's, oh my gosh, 2 going down now on the side of AKJIL.
Yeah, AKJIL with check putting in by Epe to get that knockout of the Phantom, which is really solid. That defender's going to be playing from far behind, but everybody else getting knocked out by Lucapo. So really good exchange there for them. Now, Sona, another player we wanted to talk about to watch, mostly because MJK Sona has had a lot of success this year, not just on this team. They actually participated in the National High School Unite Championship just last weekend.
That's right, yeah, that just ended. Very impressive to be so young, but again, you know, like we saw from some of the fans out there right before this match, it's all ages. And also going all the way over to the old guys team.
Exactly. We got the bookends on both sides. Lukapo looking for a bit of an engagement here. Clefable's able to make it away, and everybody else eject buttons. However, great shutdown there by the Trevenant to make sure that stoppage happens. Great play by Haku King to read that blank.
And just more pressure on this bottom tier 1. They have really just been kind of putting in like a linchpin. This is a very scary situation, and they're finally going to take it down. Yeah, stacking is 4. Going to take the Clefable down on top of that. Great timing as well. We're just under 30 seconds away from the first Reggie spawning. It's going to leave a lot more safety if they're going to try to prioritize that base from Reggie.
And in Western regions, a lot of the time, a strategy that is employed is saving those goals until a little bit later for bigger overdunks and to remove that experience from the other side. In the East, that is strategy is basically never employed. It is all about breaking those goal zones as quickly as you can because these teams like to invade so frequently. It doesn't matter. It's actually just more available experience for them on the other side. When the Pokemon as strong as Zacian is in the mid game, it's a pretty solid opportunity. Registeel is going to be easily go over to the side of MJK, and great spacing is going to try to steal the Regieleki, but AKJIL is able to take that mule with a great little play, and they get the secure. And I actually think they took the basement Reggie as well. I believe Slowbro got the last hit on that one. Yeah, they got a Registeel buff right now.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that turned everything around. I was about to say, look how amazing it was that they built all that space by taking that first tier 1. It gave them the Reggie, but then they didn't get it. So Slowbro, great, amazing play, turning things around. If they do need to turn things around, there's still a level deficit for sure for AKJIL. They're sitting behind, but if they can scale a little bit later into the late game, they will be looking a lot better. We still need to see the War Turtle hit Blastoise, the Delphox has hit Delphox, and that Unite move is going to be super key for making these team fights go in AKJIL's favor.
It's one of the best defenses for a goal zone there. A great gravity play by Clefable is going to shut down the escape for Lukapo. However, Venusaur going to find the way to close that KO. A night move is going to take out S4L from range, though. Amazing shot there from this Venusaur player. Incredible aggressive play here. KO string gets 2 from the Zacian, but so many of those set up by huge Solar Beam plays.
That was a split right there. That was 2 Pokemon that weren't even next to each other. Amazing stuff from that beam, and that's going to be finally the other tier 1 going down as well. MJK with such an incredible early lead here, 177 to Goose-Egg, to 0 points on the side of AKJIL. And on top of that, I mean, the level difference is just building and building. AKJIL's not out of it yet, but if they don't find some way to get some big pick, fight their way back in this, things could start looking tough.
Let's talk about Neri's build on the Venusaur for a second here. They're going that Sludge Bomb Solar Beam. And we've actually seen a little bit of the Beam Giga Drain as well. However, you would only ever pick that moveset if something on AKJIL's team could really be a dive threat to you. If something could jump on top of Venusaur and make that a little tricky, you want that source of individual healing. But because nobody on AKJIL really has a fast momentum style of play, it's all front to back and really slow pushes forward, you're not really worried about that. So instead, just go for the bigger damage play of that Sludge Bomb, and it will provide a lot better results.
Right, yeah, reducing the special defense. And then also, Sludge Bomb, easily one of the best tools for defending goal zones in the entire game. I love it. It's literally just the exact spacing of a goal zone, and it just takes over and over. All right, great collapse to get that basement Reggie, but now there's going to have to be a big defense here for this top tier 2, and I don't know, there's just too many. I mean, that's going to be 6 members, essentially, of MJK, and the Unite's going to come from the Blastoise. Not probably going to be enough, but hey, that's actually a huge pick on the Zacian. Whatever they get, that might be a good amount of return EXP. Oh my god.
Lukapo and Haku King are getting to work, though, on the top side of this goal zone. This is a tough push. I mean, there's jump pad available for AKJIL, so they're able to defend this goal zone rather quickly. As you see, member after member is jumping in, but MJK wants to keep taking this fight. Horde Leech healing is enough for Haku King to be able to find that knockout and get a 40 dunk into that goal zone. What a play from them. Gravity gonna hold in place nearly how they're trying to escape, but the chase down is still there. This team fight rages on, and finally, Chobo gets a KO going their direction, as I think finally AKJIL is gonna find some semblance of a victory here, but it is not gonna come easy, and Chobo again, and Lukapo turns things around and gets a KO, gets the shielding from liquidation off of 3 members of AKJIL, and is gonna use that to escape.
Wow, even after all of that, they weren't able to find that KO on Lukapo. That's incredible. I mean, that was like something like 6 or 7 KOs for MJK, and AKJIL got maybe 2, and a lot of them weren't even the biggest targets. I think Sono was the biggest target that maybe went down within that. So you can see that even the return EXP from that was not super huge, and the lead has built up to 281. It looks like they really way back in by trying to secure this bottom objective. It might allow them to get some of the points in on the tier 1 as well. We're going to see the spacing coming out from Blastoise. But, oh, the deny on the score from the Solar Beam. I don't know if this is going to work, though. This is a very deep dive.
Yeah, I mean, it's aggressive there. Lucapo going to go down. Good trade there by Shobo getting the knockout. A great initiation by Epe. Actually going to use acrobatics to move past an enemy Pokemon and get closer to that backline. So finally, one of the dive options is going to be available for AKJIL. And actually use it in sort of picture-perfect composition there. And finally, AKJIL is on the board. Both these teams are 3-0, but so far it's looked like MJK has had the keys to the kingdom in this matchup.
This would be, okay, that is a ridiculous attempt to steal. I'm actually surprised that we saw that even attempted, because we knew that it was going to go down the moment that it didn't work or even did work.
Now, you do get a little bit of Unite move charge when you get knocked out. So maybe this is a tactical, run it down, earn back a little bit of charge, and Sona almost finding that KO into S4L. The Sacred Sword does so much damage, but of course it is predictable in that area of effect. If you can try to avoid it, dodge that initial stun from that Pokemon, it'll be a little bit easier to deal with. And look at this aggressive positioning by MJK. They are not letting AKJIL have any real estate around this Rayquaza pit.
Forcing them to have to engage in one of these two main choke points is just the worst thing in the world for the team that's trying to push in. And of course, having the score lead on top of that, this is absolutely perfect position for MJK. Nobody is out in a weird place. They're actually really confident that nobody's going to be trying to kind of backscore up in the top. They're just saying, hey, you know what? They need to go for Ray regardless of what happens. Even if they take down that entire goal, it's going to be fine. So we can force the fight here. Luckily, it seems like AKJIL managed to push in a little bit more. This is going to be more of an even position for the start of this fight.
Oh, big push in by Sona. Unite move use already. It's actually not going to find any knockout. And Chobo's going to grab Sona as they get that shut down. Epe finds 2. A KO streak and 2 looking for even more as they take every single member around this fight down. Lucapo is going to receive the Blissey a Unite move. And they get 2. They get 3. They chase down. And Epe trades onto the Venusaur. But Lucapo ain't done. They clear the entire team. 1 Bliss assistance is definitely all that Urshifu needed as they come away with a quadra knockout in that Rayquaza fight. But Epe trades as well. The problem is, can they knock out Rayquaza quick enough? I think with how long the respawn timers are on AKJIL, it should be a Rayquaza KO for MJK as they're going to have a huge lead in our game number 1.
Lucapo said 4 is not enough. I got to get to 5. Who's left? Rayquaza's left. I'm taking it. That was looking actually so scary for MJK. But hey, you called it perfectly. The player to watch right now, Lucapo, taking out that entire team.
One of the best thing about the World Championships is that globally we get to see these star-studded players that have earned themselves a name in their home region, but finally they can showcase that they are truly one of the best in the world. Lucapo obviously proving they are world class because on the back of them and PT's Blissey Unite move, they completely turn that team fight around and MJK takes a 1-0 lead.
Wow, that was such an amazing game. I mean, this is where we're going to start to see these incredibly high levels of individual execution. I mean, obviously we saw in the rest of the matches today, but this is just how it's going to be for the rest of this finals bracket.
I cannot wait, but I also can't wait to hear what our analysts have to say. Kelosaurus Spraggles, break us down.
MJK won. Got a little scary here at the end as AKJIL really came back here, caught 2 at the start of this fight. Nice big slow beam into another KO, and we've got the slow motion for you, so I will slow down. No, it doesn't make sense. Go for it, Kello.
But I'm already slowed down.
And there's the Blitz assistance rocketing in to save Urshifu. While that is happening, Urshifu starts cleaning up this fight in a massive way. Huge Solar Beam. Inteleon jumping in with that acrobatics actually gets caught partially by the Solar Beam, but I don't know if it would have mattered because that was a full HP Urshifu. I remember when he started hitting Rayquaza here, I thought, why are you starting this Rayquaza? You're already winning this thing, but there was plenty of time on the clock for that to happen. 123,000 damage here from Lucapo, our player of the game.
You know what?
Our draft here for game number 2. MJK already up 1 game. If they win 1 more, they send AKJIL down to that loser's bracket, and MJK will continue this flawless run through this tournament.
Yes, we would love to see it, but we have to get through this man phase, this 10-minute game. Looks like they are hovering over that Urshifu. It was that last man standing in that last game. They do not want to come across it. Otherwise, Leafeon being banned as well. I must say, this evolution, it has been fierce this tournament.
It has. It gets so good so early. At level 4, it's just an absolute force inside the game, which is scary. They got rid of Urshifu on the side of AKJIL right here. Not surprising after the performance we saw last round from this Pokemon. And it looks like we're going to be seeing a couple big first picks here from AKJIL after Lapras is taken away by MJK. Let's see what they bring out. Ooh, they take the Zacian this time. They take Slowbro.
I think two very good picks on the side of AKJIL, but coming up against that Lapras, that is going to be scary. Obviously, that Sacred Sword, I just, nope, I do not want to be caught out in it. But you know what? I like this, an A9 pick along with an Umbreon, so the suppression that these two Pokemon provide, but even if it ends up going the Wish, the healing, the mean look, oh my goodness.
The look is incredibly mean there from Umbreon. What an amazing start here for MJK's draft. But I have to say, the draft we're seeing from AKJIL, night and day. So much better than what they had in game number 1. I think they grab the Blissey right here. They grab the Inteleon. These are huge pickups for AKJIL as MJK is hovering this Hoopa. Could be a possibility. Clefable, another one. And we may see a Scizor or Scyther on the main stage. Okay.
This is what I love to see, those out of meta picks, right? You don't see it very often. These are the matches that I like. I'm really interested to see how Lucapo is able to utilize it in this game. We obviously saw them play a mean Urshifu. So another all-rounder, or whether it ends up sticking to that Scyther pick, obviously being able to split that at level 5.
Yeah, the real question is what Pokemon are they going to bring out inside this match? Most of the teams I've saw have brought out Scyther, which plays a lot more like a speedster than it does an all-rounder. We're going to have to see what they want to bring here into game number 2. Obviously, you could take that Scyther, you could dive into that back line, and you can gobble up that Inteleon. I'm sure that is their plan for this Pokemon if that's what we see here in this match. Kello, any final thoughts on this draft?
You know who can also dive that back line? That Blastoise, especially if it is Spinstoise. It does have those special attack specs, the Slick Spoon, so they might be spinning to win.
Absolutely, and we are going to see who wins this one as we hand it on over to our casters extraordinaire, Wonder Chef Zoinks. Take it away, gentlemen.
Wonder Chef, we get the opportunity to see Lucapo's Scyther again here on the main stage. Last time they played it, they looked incredible, and I actually got the chance to see them play it a second time on the B stage. They look unstoppable on this Pokemon. It looks like a brand new addition to Unite with the way it's playing.
Scyther has been a really interesting pick for me over the course of, I would say maybe the past even like 3 months, where it hasn't gone through any changes, but every time I see it picked from a lot of these good teams, it has this really great effect, and it's so hard to answer. But you have to be just an unbelievably highly skilled player to make it look that way.
Scyther has one of those kind of dualities to it that it is so strong when you are higher level than the enemy team. It's one of the best snowball Pokemon out there. However, the opposite is also true. If you were behind even just one level, it feels almost impossible to get a knockout on the other side. So Lucapo is going to need to be playing picture perfect, as S4L is going to be playing this stage and bring it into that enemy central area. Oh, also, quick update, tournament optics-wise, if MJK wins this next game, their round matchup in the winner's semis will be against Oyasumi Macro. So MJK would be setting up a Japan versus Japan fight.
Wow, now we're going to have the crowd cheering both sides. Ooh, the invade, it looks like it's going to work. This is a lot of bullying, and this could be a great way to start shutting down that Scyther. This was actually what I was literally about to say next, was it's going to be very tough for this Scyther to not, even if it's not in like the initial range, to just kind of go down to collateral damage from the Zacian.
Yeah, what did we just say about how it's early is strong if it's got that higher level? Well, no better way to prevent that than S4L with a amazing invade. Zacian's clear of the central area is so absurdly fast, it gives you that opportunity to just rush over and steal away a blue buff after you've already cleared both of yours. It's just a ridiculous pace that this Pokemon plays at.
Zacian's pretty good. You know, I think Zacian's a little bit good. But no, honestly, we've been seeing such great performance of that Pokemon from a lot of these teams that I was excited to see how it actually work out competitively. Ooh, this is pretty far forward positioning here, trying to just get that last little bit, probably some stacks in. Wow, just barely made it.
Blissey's going to find one. Buell is in a tough spot thanks to that mean look. However, they're able to escape because the rest of MJK's attention was onto that Blissey. So, unfortunately, MJK's Nary going to be, or sorry, not Nary, getting caught out there, PT on that support Pokemon.
I said it before, but if you're not inting for stacks, then you're not playing the game.
Correct. Thank you. That is absolutely correct, Wonder Chef. I'd love to hear you agree with me on that one. Double Defender is a composition that can really put the hurt on Zacian, though, is S4L having a tough time in that 1v2. However, thanks to some Blissey support, they're able to make it away, but perfect time to bail when MJK brings a full 5 to that central pit.
Yeah, you can see that Lapras with the Perish Song is a really big deal for that Zacian. Not going to be able to burn it down super quickly, or I should say the Zacian can burn down Lapras, but we'll see if they clash again soon. Right now, it's just most of the team against everybody but Zacian, and they are pushing really far forward. That's going to be the tier 1 going down. This Scyther's trying to pop up a little bit, actually just going to back up, realizing, yeah, the positioning was very unsafe to a push from Zacian. That would have been a Dunzo Scyther. It might still be a Dunzo Scyther, but they're going to turn around, trying to take down that Zacian. No, it's getting out of range. Safe play from both sides.
Look how good that Alolan Ninetales gameplay is from Neri. They put down that little combo that we see all the time, and that is just a huge area that Zacian just gets pushed out of completely. If you stay within it, it's a sure knockout the other direction. An amazing anti-dive Pokemon, really the cornerstone of that strategy, making it so hard for S4L to find any way into the back line.
Oh, look at that, starting the burn, and then the initiation from the back with the spin Stoice, and we're going to see one Umbreon there trying to get that steal. Not going to make it happen, and now with this buff on top of everything else and the numbers advantage, they're trying to take down this tier 1. Huge Unite from the Blastoise. That's going to catch the entirety of the remaining members of MJK. The Lapras is so close to going down, the Clefable's so close to going down, but with the return of, I would say, I think 2 of their members, it looks like they're going to be able to at least fight back. Lapras actually still getting taken out.
Yeah, Chobo Skull there, enough damage to actually fight it, and MJK had a chance to sort of bring that fight back. Lucapo got 1 traded out in that initial engagement, so it sort of made things back to even keel. Speaking of that, we were at a tie game of 87 to 87 at this point. AKJIL definitely bringing a much fiercer game to game number 2. Their draft looking amazing, grabbing a lot of power picks, and really this Blastoise with his rapid spin from Mule has looked to be the secret key to shutting down MJK's backline.
Oh, they are going to be targeting this Regieleki, but there's 3 members of AKJIL just sitting up here, not able to get the steal. There was definitely potentially there. Looks like the spin maybe was on cooldown, so now they're just going to have to deal with it. There's not going to be too aggressive a push, at least at the start. They want to take the middle EXP just a little bit. They're actually pushing kind of from a different direction so that maybe the Regieleki can get in, but there's a lot of return damage. Zacian is bumping in and just chunking everybody. Lapras has to back up. Scyther's trying to hide, not going to get away. Oh, actually leaped out, making me wrong immediately. Actually going back in, using the Unite. That was a really gutsy attempt.
Oh, I mean, if Chobo did have Unite move there, I do think that's a 2 or 3 KO streak for Lucapo the other way, but great play from Chobo to immediately shut down that threat thanks to the slow beam of Slowbro. Great call out. Problem is, both of those Unite moves won't be online for this next Basement Reggie fight. Second Basement Reggie is one of the most impactful objective fights of the entire game. It can set the pace of your experience and be the difference between a level 12 or a level 13 or 14 in the end game.
And look at this, we're just barely getting to these Unites on the side of MJK. We just had 2 members hit 9. Of course, one of them already had it at 8, but one more still needs to even hit 9 potentially. And so we are just not at a great level, and there's going to be the Zacian. Yet so hard to out-secure that. This team is going to have some very strong secure. Wasn't even all that much of a challenge. A small attempt, but whoa, right in the Lapras. They're going to go for the counter engage. And this Perish Song might be taking something out, but a great coordination on the side of AKJIL. The Zacian is going to go down. It's going to be a lot of great return EXP for MJK. But this is going to be a brawl in a few different areas here as Lapras is going down as well.
That is a behemoth of a blade. Great play from S4L, really setting up the rest of the team. This fight is dragging on quite a long time, but Efe is doing a great job of cleanup. This Inteleon liquidation has been relatively untouched in the backline. Scyther has had a hard time finding this Inteleon, but I really do think it's thanks to Mule and thanks to Chobo for their incredible defender play, like something we like to call peel, or just defending your squishies or your carries and making sure that it's really tough for them to get knocked out by their positioning and by using their moves in perfect timing.
Raw 50 going in the bottom tier 1. That's going to get 0 overdunk, literally exactly 0. It's trying to make sure that is broken down as much as possible, get that little bit of a lead. And so there's going to be an aggressive push from the side of MJK. They are going in, and they've done a lot of AoE damage themselves, splitting up the entire team of AKJIL. Only 2 left, but it might only need 2, as we're going to going to get a ton of damage out of that play. Finally, though, going down. And this was a huge team fight for Experience. We saw 1 or 2 levels jumped from that alone on top of evening up the score once again.
Yeah, Sona coming away with a KO streak of 3. This Lapras is at level 13, by the way, at this 3-minute mark. This Pokemon is so strong when it can start rolling over their enemies. A lot of Unite moves used in that team fight, obviously. And actually, I was worried about the play from Haku King on that Umbreon. They used that Unite move extremely early before the Blissey Unite move. So great job from the other side to hold that move until that time. However, MJK spending a full 5 Unite moves earned themselves a great push. And actually, AKJIL's not going to be able to respond in kind until that final stretch. BZ with a bit of an overextension is going to get knocked out, but, well, I mean, Zacian is 14 now, so that could be back to the drawing board for them.
Still, though, I feel like if there's one moment that wins MJK the game, if they do manage to pull this one off, it was that last team fight, because they really did jump forward a lot of levels. You mentioned the level 13, that Lapras was level 11 a second ago. So now we'll see, I mean, if they're just still continuing to fight, and this is a little bit scary. Once again, there's not all that much left at this moment to gain, but the longer they delay these KOs, the longer it's going to take them to come back. And now at this point, even Umbreon won't be there for the exact 2-minute mark. If they want to burn it down, AKJIL has that option.
Sona owes Haku King some plushies from the Pokemon Center there. So Haku King having to dive in and defend it, but there we go. AKJIL pulling full attention to the Rayquaza, going for the full rip strategy. MJK is going to be rising up to the occasion. The Hyper Beam rolled on the Clefable, and they're going to secure it. Hyper Beam roll on the Unite move. What an incredible pull out of that one. It is a randomized move, and they get the best secure in the game of the Hyper Beam. And now MJK is going to rush towards those goal zones. What an incredible moment. AKJIL decides to try to rip the Rayquaza, but MJK finds the perfect answer.
Are we in Yokohama, Japan, or are we in Las Vegas? Because that was a jackpot for sure. Incredible to make that happen. I love the burn from AKJIL. There was such a low chance that was going to be stolen from them, but what an option to do it. An MVP play for sure. Taking full advantage. Look at that on top of that. I'm scoring. I'm using the doll. Everything. This is a full moral victory for sure, and I don't think there's any way to come back into this game for AKJIL. MJK, what a comeback.
What a play from BZ there. And I will say they rolled a block on that final Reggie fight when they were going for that last hit secure. So, you know, they got all the bad luck out there and then instead pushed for all the good luck they found around that Rayquaza fight. And, well, with these final moments happening, Luca Poe going to try to put on a bit more of a highlight reel. But MJK has just sent AKJIL down to the losers bracket, moving them into a winner semifinals match against the other Japanese representative. We're going to have MJK versus Oyasumi Macro here at Worlds. Unbelievable stuff.
Not only is that going to be what is looking like potentially the strongest scene in a match against each other, it's going to be our first regional mirror match of the entire weekend. And well-earned from both those teams as MJK 2-0 moving forward into the winners semis. What a way to do it.
Oh my word, AKJIL definitely came to play in that game number 2, having a really solid early game. But you called it out, that final fight around that top half and that Regieleki that MJK won handedly. And honestly, they did it because they had courage. They just used their Unite moves. They clicked the button and they charged forward and they found so many KOs on the back of it. AKJIL a bit more conservative in that team fight and not really fighting back too much. And well, they didn't get that extra fight, and unfortunately, they're going to take that L here. Let's take a look at our score graph for the matchup so we can talk about the storyline. So close all the way out until that final stretch.
Yeah, this was a close one. Multiple times we had, well, at one point we actually exactly tied score, and then it grew a little bit, but then they kind of caught back up, but it really was going to come down to the final moments one way or another. We can take a look at how much damage each of these Pokemon did. I expect we're going to see some pretty high damage from Zacian. I think this is going to be a pretty high damaging game in general because we had a pretty good amount of brawls. And actually, whoa, you know, we see the highest damage in the game, Mule on that Blastoise. And I was going to say, we had earlier what was the call? It was like a low rent Lapras sometimes, but coming from SoCal, I love low rent.
Oh, sure. Well, Soda absolutely popping off. Let's take another highlight reel of this game because it was all fights all the time. That's why you saw those damage numbers so astronomically high from both sides. And Luca Poe proving that this Scyther can still be relevant and in Worlds caliber match. Really was so amazing with it. I know it was on the B stage yesterday, but MJK versus MYS, I think, was defined by Lugapo's Scyther play. It was absolutely ridiculous, unstoppable, and no one is expecting this pick either. How do you have practice against some of the best Scythers in the world? Maybe North America has it, have a trainer playing that Pokemon, but outside of that, I don't know. An amazing game here. AKJIL definitely showcasing the Korean region is strong. They're not out of this tournament yet, though, Wonder Chef. They are just going to be heading down to the losers bracket.
That's right. I believe nobody so far has been eliminated. And once again, we're going to be reminding you all day, there is a B stream as well that's going to be gameplay only of the off-broadcast matches. Right now, I see Omo Obsidian and 0-0 Nation at a 1-1 tie on that broadcast.
Wow.
I'm going to stop talking about this. I'm going to go walk over there and look at that because all these matches today are so exciting.
Look at the, oh my word, that Hyper Beam is so good. I can't believe that happened.
I know.
What a moment. I mean, they absolutely need to check their in-game Unite Lottery ticket after this one to see if they're winning, because what a play from MJK. Obviously, the crowd's so excited to see the representative from the Japan region, the hometown crowd, being successful and moving on and showing respect to their Korean opponents after what was truly an incredible match. Definitely AKJIL showcasing some great talent in that game number 2.
It was a really, really close one, and I expect we're going to see more close ones as we move through the day. So that's going to be MJK moving forward to take on